Life has been hectic and I would like to slow down. I would like to make some things. So, over the last few weeks, I have sort of collected things that I wanted to make today. So, today is my making day. Now, what do I want to make? Well, first of all, and most knitting related, is that I want to finish these sailor slippers. I want to finish the second one, add the I-cord, sew it all together and felt it. So that is my number one priority because I have the laundry room today, which means that I can do the actual felting. I want to try one more machine setting before I do like the main person's slippers because I'm doing 6 or 7 pairs of these for a friend's bachelorette trip, and for the bride I want to make sure that I have the perfect setting and gauge and everything. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. Then this afternoon I would like to make a few other things. I have this little set of 3 terracotta pots and 3 faux stained glass little things. I think that you just sort of fill these little gaps with crystals that are given on a baking sheet, and then you bake it and you pull out a finished little faux stained glass plant. And I want this. I think it's a great idea and I want to see how it works out. So this is one of my projects. Another project is actually food related. I want to make syrup out of, is it called honeysuckle? Because that is the only word I can think of for it. In Swedish it's called syren, and it's these beautiful like cone-shaped flower clusters that we have on the property where I live, and I would like to make syrup with that because I love having some sweet syrup in some tea with my boba tea, for example, or if I'm just drinking a normal tea, I want it to be a little sweet and I want it to taste of something. So I want to make honeysuckle syrup or whatever it's called syrup, and I want to make a lemon, citrus, orange flavoured syrup as well, because at my local supermarket we have this Too Good To Go app where they let the app know if they have a surplus of something that needs to be sold quickly, and then you buy it for a very reduced price. So I got a lot of citrus fruit in my last bag, and I don't want it to go to waste, so I want to make syrup out of that as well. Next up I have another food related thing, but this is about planting potatoes that have been sprouting over the last few weeks. My co-worker gave me these right before she switched jobs, and I've been putting off planting them. But I have the pots, I have the soil, and I want to plant these on our balcony. And the last food related thing is that I found this packet of yeast. This is fresh yeast, but this didn't, I didn't make anything with this on time. So this had its best before date on the 24th of March, and that is a month and a half ago. So I would like to make a sourdough starter. Have I ever made sourdough bread before? No. Do I know that it's going to be difficult? Yes. I know just enough to know that it is super tricky, but not enough to be sort of deterred from it. Right. This project is sort of reduce, reuse, recycle. This is a food canister out of glass from IKEA. It's been well loved and used. The lid broke. I would like to do something with it. Right now it's quite ugly, so I have this paint for glass that you just paint on, then you put this in the oven for I don't know how long, and then it fixes it. to the glass. I have this on a bunch of my other glass food containers because, I mean, I live in Sweden. Basically everyone has the same standard size IKEA glass containers, and at my job a bunch of them just get mixed up. So I started painting leaves on mine to sort of know that I'm not stealing anyone's, because how many glass containers do I still have at the office? I don't know. Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 1? I don't really keep track. So to make it easier for myself, I just painted all of mine. And this one hasn't been painted because this is an unusual shape. And I thought this could be a good water bowl for the cat or something decorative. So I'm going to paint something with the glass paint on it. Then next up I have a little bit of a social one. I would like to write 3 letters and I want to make them beautiful. I want to have stickers in them. I would like to have little foldy out bits. So I have this origami paper that I've used a bunch of, but it's just, I mean, these are 150 sheets. No way am I getting through these with just folding origami things. So I would like to make little fun letters for the young boys in my life. I have 3 young boys that I would like to send some attention to, because pretty letters aren't just for girl-coded children. Then I have polymer clay. Now I'm a big fan of polymer clay earrings. I have a bunch of them from an amazing artist. Her name is Clara Fina Frisk and she makes these super gorgeous statement earrings. And I have been toying with the idea of making stitch markers or something with polymer clay, and I would like to try my hand with this medium. So I bought a starter kit with 12 colours, or probably honestly 9 colours. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, yes. And then you have a fixing, a varnish and 2 tools. And I just want to see if I like this medium, if it's fun. If it isn't, then I have learned something new. But that is also something that I would like to make. I would also like to paint my nails. These thingies have been woefully paintless for just the longest time, and I would like to paint my nails. And as you can tell, if you watched anything from me before, I do a lot of crafting with my hands, and this video is not an exception. So if I do get the time to paint my nails today, that would be amazing. And I have one last project, but that project requires me to find something that I don't currently know where it is. And that is air drying clay, because I would like to make a little decorative shelf for just, I don't know, a tea light or a little Lego succulent or something decorative. I would like to paint it with my acrylic colours. I mean, I have a bunch of lemon patterned everythings, so I would like to make a little lemon shelf. And I have the air drying clay somewhere. I was given it as a birthday present years ago. I was given 2 packs. The first pack I did use, that was white coloured, and the second pack is terracotta coloured. I haven't used it yet, and why not? So I want to use it. I want to make a little shelf out of it. However, that means that I would have to build a stable shelf and then sort of encase that in the clay, because I don't trust the clay in itself to hold any weight. Or I could bend a wire hanger to sort of give it some integrity. That is also something that I am contemplating for today. So as you can see, I have a bunch of things that I want to make this rainy, gloomy May day. And I am very curious to see how many things I actually managed to get done. It is now 10 o'clock and I have given myself until 5 o'clock to do these things, because then I have to eat dinner and go to practice, and whatever isn't done by then isn't done. So let's get started. But what do I want to make first? I said I wanted to make the sailor slippers. Those I do need to felt today. And I have the laundry room in 2 hours. Can I finish them in 2 hours? Is there anything else that I can do in 2 hours while I wait? Ooh, I do like these. And then these little terracotta planters. How cute. And then these ones. They are sort of raised on one side and very flat on the other, which means I would assume that this is the direction you put them in, right? Yeah. Preheat the oven to 190 Celsius. Cover the pan with a sheet of aluminum foil. Pour one color of beads on the frame at a time. Continue filling the frames with the beads until the foil underneath is completely covered. Place the pan in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. The decorative flowers are ready when the beads are melted evenly and look like glass. Now, this got fiddly super quick, so I brought in the big guns. Okay, so I didn't quite get the full coverage that I was supposed to. I felt like I was overfilling some of the compartments because the beads were just overflowing and I was afraid that they would spill over, but instead they sort of melted together into gaps. So I don't know if I can go back and fix them by just filling out the gaps with the beads, or what the protocol is, but it should be fine. It doesn't smell burnt, so I don't think there is a very big risk of me having over melted them. So I will let them cool down, and then I will reapply some beads. It ended up being a lot fiddlier than I had anticipated because the gaps are so very small. So I had to be very careful where I placed all of the beads. And by the way, just weaving in these ends super messily because I'm going to felt them, and normally I would go back and forth a few times, and now I'm just like, I'm hiding the ends through a few rows and just snipping off the end because I'm not going to have any ends sticking out or running away after they have felted together. It's now 11:45. I have the laundry room in 15 minutes, and I will then go get some of the flowers as well while I am out. I'm going to wait until the tray has cooled down a bit though, because I don't want the cat to accidentally jump up, be curious and get burnt. So, because I don't really know her just yet. I mean, we've had her for a little over 2 weeks now, and she is very shy. She doesn't really come out to play very much. That is to say, she doesn't play with us at all just yet. This morning I was on the sofa the entire time that the food was there, the kibble, and she, I guess, got hungry, so she snuck out, and I just let her avoid it because I don't need her to be scared of me. I need her to be cool with me. But now she's back underneath the sofa. But what I'm getting at is that I don't know her yet. I knew my old cat. I knew that he wouldn't eat anything that was meant for humans. He wasn't curious about it. I could leave a plate unattended and he wouldn't touch it even if he was close by. But with this cat, I don't know. Is she one to jump on the stove if it's hot? Is she one to eat stuff off of the floor? Do I have to be careful with leaving my knitting around her? Is she a marauder? Does she break things? I don't know. I will have the pleasure of finding out once I get to know her better. This is definitely the most boring part of these slippers. I'm filming a video about the whole process of knitting slippers for this bachelorette trip, and that will be coming out probably beginning of June, because I would like to add a clip of us all wearing the slippers. So that will be after the bachelorette has happened. I've had lunch, I've had a snack, and I'm now ready to tackle the glass bowl. I don't have a pattern in mind for this, I just want to do, some squiggles, some lines, and we'll see what happens. So apparently you're supposed to let this dry for a full 24 hours before you put it in the oven. I had forgotten because the last time I did this was, well, I don't know, a year, 4 years ago. 3, 2 years ago. And I will just have to do this again tomorrow then. I would have liked to paint lemons. Who is surprised by that? Not me. But I didn't want to buy any more paint because I have so many crafting supplies at home, and buying more feels unnecessary. So I will just paint on a little leaf, vine on the bottom and take it from there. These paintbrushes are absolutely ancient. They're the same ones I used for the lemon stool that I painted a few weeks back, and they are, I got them in like a kit of watercolors that I got back in uni for something super specific, like, I don't know, an event of some kind, and I knew that I needed something that was sort of disposable, and then I kept the brushes, and now they are my manhandling brushes that I use for all sort of bullshit that isn't necessarily very kind to the brushes. Do I want another little leaf here? Yeah. Do I want to connect them with a little line? Or does that feel superfluous? Well, not a connected line then, just, you know, the hint of one. Oh shit. Can I erase this? Yes. So this is what we have so far. Do you want to do like a decoration around the edge as well? Maybe. Because I definitely feel like my too much gene, the one that Jenna Marbles told us was the Aries part of Julian, that could definitely come out to play in a little while, where it will have turned out that I should just have stopped before ruining a good thing. But you know, I wouldn't be myself if I had restraint. Do I want to paint the entire way around, or no? I think I will go down into the base of the thing. One thing I really enjoy about painting is that you don't have to be good at it to do it. I mean, that's a thing that I enjoy about crafting in general, that there's no competition. You don't have to succeed to do it like you would in a competitive sport or a career, where someone would be like, oh well, you shouldn't do this anymore because you're not good enough. And here it's like, who's going to stop me? Don't like how I painted a leaf? Get a life, my friend. Oh, this is making me cross-eyed. Okay, I think I'll actually leave it there because for once in my life, maybe I shouldn't overdo anything. So I have one leaf vine from the bottom there, and then I have one that goes all the way around along the edge. And I think that's nice. Yeah, I think Cat will be happy to drink out of it. So that's going to dry for 24 hours, and then I will, I guess, bake it for 40 minutes at 130 degrees Celsius. That's what it says on the packaging anyway. Alright, and I know that this actually holds up because this paint is a few years old and I have painted it onto these. They have gone through the dishwasher and they have been beaten up. The only thing is that, of course, I paint on the outside. That doesn't touch any food. I don't know if it's food safe. I would assume so, but I have just painted it on the outside of stuff anyway, just like with this. So no one is getting any of these particles in them unless they really, really try. And if they do try that hard, they have deserved it. Now, isn't this convenient? This is the container I'll be using for the sourdough starter. I'm going to do with just normal flour, I don't know, wheat flour. It's not ecological, it's not anything particularly fancy. It's just what I have at home, and that is what we are dealing with today. The recipe I found was 2.5 deciliters of flour and 1.5 deciliters of room temperature water, which this is not really, but you know, good enough. Would you look at that, it's 5 o'clock or 10 to 5. I don't have more time for anything. So I think that's time to wrap it up. Let's see what I got done today. You know what? I would venture as far as to say that this day was a great success. I've had so much fun. I've managed to do a lot of things. And I didn't know what to expect this morning, so obviously I just piled on a bunch of projects to see what would tickle my so-called fancy. And I have done so many things. The first thing I finished were the sailor slippers. They are felted, 60 degrees Celsius, just straight up washing, not drying. Worked really well. I like them. They are sturdy. They are going to take an age and a half to dry, but I do have an age and a half until I need to pack them up and go on the trip. So good first project finished. I'm very happy with them. I have seen a little bit of like felting into each other, so the pink isn't as crisp as it was before because the blue fibers have sort of seeped into the pink stripes, but it is what it is. Now they are looking more purple than pink, but I am not complaining. I think they look rad. The second thing I did while those were in the wash were these cute little faux stained glass thingies, flowers. Now, they are still not perfect by any means. The beads, they dried or they melted quite slowly. I actually ended up having these in the oven for another 45 minutes and they still haven't really gone into all of the nooks and crannies, but I wasn't very keen on letting them go in the oven much longer because it's plastic. I don't want to fume myself or my cat to death. So I followed the recommended colours for the tulip and for the, what are these called in English? The narcissus? Påsklilia, Easter lily. And I did some little speckles of other colours for the rose. And I mixed some of the pinks and the oranges together with the yellow because I didn't want just a big pink blob. I wanted it to be a bit more mild, but you will see more in the close-ups as we finish up the video. So now I have those. The light green was the quickest to melt, and the dark green I think was the slowest. So the dark green is the most sort of mottled, and the dark green is also the least vibrant of the colours. So I think I would have wished the green to be more alive, the dark green, but the light green is really lovely. I made my 2 bottles of syrup. This is quite syrupy. I boiled it down for quite a long time. This is the lilac, not honeysuckle, lilac syrup, which has a slight blue tinge. The recipe said that you could add a few blueberries just for the colour, but we didn't have any today and I didn't want to go buy anything today. And this, which is very much not in need of any artificial colour or added colour, is the citrus one. This is quite a lot liquidier, more liquid than the other syrup, so for next time I would probably let it reduce down more. But this is really giving Fanta, isn't it? So I wonder if this with some spritzed water would be an option. They contain so much sugar that I am not afraid of letting them stand in the refrigerator for ages, and I also don't think that they will last ages in my household because I am a tea drinker, big fan, and I usually like to sweeten them with something. So those two also very happy with. Then I finally planted my potatoes. They are now on the balcony, thriving, hopefully, in some new soil. I had the potato pots since last apartment where I used to grow potatoes on my balcony there as well, and now I'm getting them out for this summer. I didn't use them last summer, I think, no, because I was getting ready to move, but now that I'm in the new apartment, I'm really happy to get my potatoes started again. And I finished the water bowl, the glass bowl, with some leaves on it. The only thing that's left to do there is to let it dry for 24 hours and then cure it for 40 minutes in the oven, and then that is finished and ready to use as well. Now, what did I not get done? I didn't do the air dried clay thing, I didn't do the polymer clay thing, I didn't write my letters either, damn, and I didn't paint my nails. So I have 3 beautiful things for myself, I have 1 pair of beautiful things for a friend, I have 2 tasty things already, I am waiting for the sourdough to be a tasty thing, and I'm waiting for the potatoes to be a tasty thing too. And I am going to have a beautiful water bowl for the cat in a little over 24 hours. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this very random bits and pieces video. It was really fun filming. I had a great day. It was really a fun day for me. I feel so much more grounded and relaxed, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel so you see when I post my video about the sailor slippers, and so you see an update about how the sourdough went and if these syrups can be improved somehow, and what I get up to with these little flower ornaments, where I put them, and also updates on the cat. Who wouldn't want updates on the cat? So take care of yourself, go make something, and I will see you next time. Bye.